guys, it's Jean from Beauty and the Stamper, and if you saw my last video, I made this card. And I had these extra pieces that came out of each piece of the card, and so I wanted to make a tag, and I was just checking to see what would look better. Then I thought maybe I could bring in some orange and get the deckled circle one size larger than the big piece and one size smaller than the little piece. And wanted to give that a try. So I'm gonna test that out and get my deckled circle and die cut that piece. It barely fits, but fortunately the die is cut on the inside, so I came up with just enough room. Oh my gosh, the side barely fit. So I have these on a magnetic sheet so I can easily pull them on and off and then just stick it right back in the package. And let's try this out. We're going to see if the green works well. Looks a little Irish flag to me. So then I flip it over and yeah, again, Irish flag that way. So I decided to go with snowflakes all around, and then it looked more Christmassy. And I'm just going to fussy cut this out. And you can see the base that I'm cutting off is that pumpkin pie color. So bringing in that pumpkin pie cardstock is going to really make that pop, in my opinion. At least that's what I am thinking at this point. But we will put this up against there and see if that is in fact the case. Let's see. So I put the little other piece away, and I said, this is going to be a tag, so let me get out a piece of basic white and a larger circle. So I believe this is 2 3/8, and I'm just going to punch that out, and then I'm going to get my to and from stamp from the season's the greetings of the season, and I was checking to see if it would fit there, and I'm like, nope, that's not going to work, so I'm going to grab the to and the from. Now, I must admit, I put them on there on the case itself, and I always have the hardest time trying to figure out where those stamps are. But what I'm going to do here is I don't want to stamp them one at a time, so I put my piece down, and unfortunately you can't see it real well, but I put the stamp where I want it, I put the 2-part stamp where I want it, and then straighten them the best that I can and get them as straight as possible. And then I put my block on top, and it grabs those right where I need it to be. So I'm getting out my garden green because that's the color of the snowflakes and the back, and that is going to be stamped right exactly where I want, and it comes out just fine there. So now I've got all my pieces, and we are going to adhere them. I'm just going to be using my multi-purpose glue, Tombow adhesive, also known as green glue. So I'm sticking that right in the back, and that's going to be our to and from tag, because I love to make my own Christmas tags. So now we're just going to take that same glue and adhere the pumpkin pie piece and center that up. And then I'm burnishing that down to get that glue spread throughout. And on this one, I want to give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to add some dimensionals here. And we will take this off. Of course, I have to try it without my take your pick tool. I am just always forgetting. So I'll stick that down there. And then I'm going to use the cutout piece. Again, this is designer series paper, so I'm putting a lot of dimensionals to give it the sturdiness. since it's such a thin piece of paper. So we've got the dimensionals on there. We're going to put that, I want to line it up with the back, and we get that. Look at how cute that is. So this is a tag, and of course I have trouble finding the end, and that is the way it is every time I get a brand new roll. So I have to find that one piece, and then once I get that, then it's easy. So we're going to cut off a little piece here, and I'm going to use a stapler, a mini stapler. So I put this in, and I can't stick it underneath because I've already glued it down, and because I have so many dots, it's not going to be at the top. So I'm like, okay, I'll just put it right in there, and then, yay, perfect. Nope, didn't work out at all. So I was talking to a friend as I was making this, and she said, are you going to just cut, you can edit that out? And I said, no, I don't edit it out because I like to show the beauties that there are mistakes and it can be fixed. So now I'm pulling out that staple. I tied the end a little bit there. And I'm going to try this again. And I go to staple it. Perfect. Nope. At this point, I threw it down and just put my hands over my head. I said, what's going to happen here? So, trying different ways, we're going to take the staple out again. And take the staple. I actually stapled perfectly in that hole. But I have the two little pieces, and I said, okay, we're just going to try the glue. So I glued the back and covered up the hole a little bit and stuck that down. Now I touched a little bit of glue with my finger. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to make a little bow to cover up the holes that I made from the stapler. So I make my little bow here, cut off the tails, and I'm going to make a second bow for the other side so that we have a bow on both sides covering up any little holes made by that stapler. So we got our second bow. There we go. Now remember, I had touched some glue, and as I go to put this on, I add a little bit more glue here. And I put that on, and it comes up because my hands are now sticky with glue. They're getting even more stickier. And so this whole thing is just going crazy at this point. But you guys, I'm going to leave it on so you guys see. Look at that. There it goes. More glue. Put it down there gently. Okay. So we are going to just let that sit and dry for just a second. And while we're doing that, I'm going to put some type of embellishment. So I'm looking to see which one would be best. And then I saw these little guys, and there's a light, very light at the bottom, has this nice peach pie color. And so I said, okay, I'm going to get the peach pie, put it right in the middle of the bow, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'll tell you, you can't even see that there was anything wrong. It looked like that's the way it was supposed to be. And then I'm going to add another embellishment there and a couple down at the bottom and get those done well. So this is my tag. I hope you like it. Please give me a big thumbs up, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!